I would start from my story first.
Mhm.
I've been an international student for a long time, and I know how difficult it is to study in the United States as international student, or even to survive here as an international student. Language problem, culture shock, and most of all, financial difficulties.
Mhm.
International students are not supposed to work outside of the campus without the permission of the IRS. And international students have to keep the full-time status. That means they have to pay full-time tuition all the time. So they are facing really lots of problems. When I came to Los Angeles for the first time, to California International University for the first time, in my class, that was international business and international politics class. I found really our students at CIU were very intelligent, very smart, but I could read their suffering in their faces. At that time, so I thought that I had to stay at CIU, and this was the place that I had to teach, and this was those students are the people whom I had to take care. That was a really long time ago in 1987.
Mhm.
But still I remember very clearly at that moment, oh, they are suffering and they are intelligent. They need my help. Okay? That's why we need this kind of school, specializing for suffering international students. First, academic standards should be high enough, but tuition level should be very reasonable. The second, that institute has to have very good scholarship policy. After I became the president, what I introduced for the first time was very good scholarship program. We did not ask anything else but good TOEFL score, good English proficiency. The student at first did not believe because it was too good to believe. But now they trust the school. We have another scholarship program, okay, to the student whose TOEFL score were not that much great, but after they came to school, and if their GPA is good, and they are willing to contribute to the school, for example, making school newsletter or making the network of our alumni, then we give the scholarship too. Okay. That is actually, I believe, the first reason we need this kind of school. I'm very proud of our students. Our students are so good, very, very intelligent. Probably the first kind of element from their country. And our alumni, they are so successful in all over the world. 5 years ago, I visited Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, the capital city of Mongolia. And in my hotel, I met one couple who were the alumni, who were the graduate for my student. Both of them were our students. They were surprised to see me. Of course, I was surprised. But I found that they built up 20-story commercial and condominium complex in the downtown of Ulaanbaatar. I was very busy, but they asked me to come to their office to see that building. So I went there to congratulate. Okay, and all of the alumni in Ulaanbaatar, they were very successful. They were professionals like university professors, CPA, lawyers, and distinguished businessmen, and even politicians. Okay? So I know that our students will be the leader of the world in future. I'm sure that they are already the leader of the world. And our students here are very lucky to make the future leader as their friends here. Okay. This is the way that we can develop and promote international understanding beyond the national boundary and cultural differences. So that's why I believe that we need this kind of school badly. My answer is yes and no. Okay. And most of the international students, they do not have a lot of knowledge about American system and American culture. For example, now I'm teaching American government at California International University. I taught the same course really long time ago at Idaho State University. After I came over to California International University, I totally restructured the content of education. Okay, all the courses I restructured, but I did not sacrifice the content of education or academic standard at all. I just modified it to help international students understand American system. I hope all of our teachers here understand that our students are not familiar with American system, okay, and develop the way to make them understand easily. Okay, so American system here, and American finance here, American business way here, American business ethic here. Let them understand easily. Actually, American education is highly oriented to American culture. I hope that in California International University, we educate and we develop the program which is international student oriented rather than American student oriented. Moreover, I hope that we can introduce some comparative viewpoint in many ways. For example, compare financial system of the United States and that of Mongolia and that of Philippines. Now I'm teaching leadership course in CIU. I asked the students to make the presentation about the leadership style of the leaders they choose. And each of the students has to choose one leader, and most of them choose the leaders from their own country. So I learned a lot about the leader of Philippines, leader of Mongolia, leader of Turkey. Not only me, or other students, all the students can learn something, the leadership style of different cultures, different countries, and their way of thinking and way of developing their leadership. Okay, so I believe that in this way, we can promote mutual understanding beyond national boundary. I believe that it is the way to help and promote the peace of the world. Don't you think so?
Yes.
I want to keep the uniqueness of the school. That is the school of suffering international students, mostly from developing countries. I want to develop, actually I want this school to develop the third world perspective or international perspective. And about the economic structure, business style, business ethic, and the way of the business, something like that. Okay? Because we are the business school, but we want to introduce third world perspective too. So honestly, I do not want to copy the prestigious American university here. So this approach is really very unique and is really new approaches in the time when the world is so small and the world is just one family. In that way, I hope that we can promote international justice and international understanding and international friendship. And already we have one distinguished international lawyer who are specializing human rights in all of the world. Especially, she is working for human rights for the third world people. I'm so proud of him. Then, in that way, we can introduce the concept of international justice, concept of justice in international setting. So we can introduce that kind of perspective. A couple of years ago, I attended political science conference about political science teaching. A couple of Japanese political scientists made a presentation about international education of political science in Japan. They said that they were teaching political science in English in Japan using American textbook. But I thought that was teaching American political science in Japan. That was not international education. I really want to develop international perspective here, introducing the perspective of the suffering people from other countries, from different countries. I know that that is not easy. However, it is really challenging. So I believe that that is what we have to do in future, and only scholars in California International University can do it. International students have to understand American culture. This is a highly individualistic culture, and they have to disclose themselves. Okay? And actually, school is here to help them. Professors are here to help them, and school counselors and staffs are here to help them. But some of the students do not open themselves. Then the school has no way to know what's their problem. I know the international student will have the problem. I know. Okay, as I told you, they should have the problem. It is very natural. In that case, bring new program, bring the student program, to the school, to the professors, to the staff, to the counselor, even to the students, other friends. If you have the financial difficulties, come to school. The California International University, as I told, we have the good scholarship program. Also, we can make the arrangement. For example, payment plan, even though they do not have the scholarship. Okay, they are not qualified to have the scholarship. So there is a way to solve the problem. If they fail in academic, if they got F, if they got D, then go to the professors before it is too late. Then professors will give you kind of solution, give some extra work. Okay? And I myself, as I told you, because I study here political science, but I have no background about American political system. I was ignorant about American Constitution, so I took American constitutional law course, and I was not that much successful. So I was so afraid. I had a panic, but I went to the professor's office. Actually, this is me. I got it. I got this bad grade. But is there any chance for me to promote? To make it to have a better grade? Then he gave me kind of assignment, extra assignment. I submit 4 book report in one course to make my C grade to B plus grade.
Right.
But I did. So I got B plus.
Right.
Honestly, that's what I did.
Yeah.
This is very good.
Right.
I believe the American system is good because we have this kind of system.
Right.
This kind of readiness to help the student.
Right.
Then, if you have any kind of problem, even family problem, okay, don't hide it.
Right.
Okay, then there is the way.
Right.
Then I believe that our students will be successful, will succeed.
Right.
If our students are smart, I know that they will be successful, as I told. But if because of their personality, just hide something in themselves, that's the way to fail. Okay, that's my advice. My advice to the parents is to do their best, find really good school for their children. It is not easy, it is not wise to choose the school according to just reputation or objective prestige or some kind of ranking of the universities in US and World US and World Report, something like this. Okay, but many different aspects of the school. Okay, first of all, where the school is located. I didn't see when I came here to the United States. I went to University of Chicago. Honestly, I did not know the Chicago was that much cold.
You found out.
Too windy, too cold. The school was located really a little bit unsecure and unsafe environment. I was really shocked about that. I do not think that was a really bad choice. But honestly, I chose that school because I knew that one distinguished political scientist was there. He was very famous, and my school professor said, "Okay, Mr. X is there, so you have to go there." So I just went there. But honestly, I saw him just twice till I finished the program. So honestly, I was a little stupid in that sense. Actually, I was not informed that much. So try to find out really good information from many people about the school. think about really many things. So don't be misled. In the third countries, too many people are not honest. Okay, so they are full of successful story. I was that much successful. I got straight A there, or something like that. But many people fail here, as you know. Okay, many people had difficulties here. Okay, then how come their children can overcome those difficulties? It should be considered by the parents. So that's why they have to think about the tuition.
Right.
That's why they have to think about the environment. That's why they have to think about the alumni and students there, and also they have to think about the quality of education. Okay, and get lots of information from who are not that much successful. Okay, I went to Harvard, but I failed. But that kind of story is not, really very well reported in the third countries. Only really superheroes, okay, superstar stories are very well reported there.
Yeah.
But try to get more information. Okay, don't be misled.
Right.
Especially commercially oriented agents.
Right.
When they had a consultation from them, they have to be very, very careful and try to get more information and find good schools and send them to those good schools who are ready to help, ready to help the international student. That's my advice.